YouTube, Anna here. I'm just here to film my update about my birthing class. Excuse my voice, it's crazy and out of whack. Getting over a cold. So, last Wednesday was my first birthing class. Went with my husband. It was actually taught by a nurse that I'm kind of familiar with. She is my best friend's next door neighbor. Excuse me. She's also going back to school to be a midwife, so she's a student midwife right now. And my pediatrician uses her as the lactation consultant, so she would actually be my personal lactation consultant if I had any issues. And I immediately was like, thank God, because I want to have some sort of rapport with her. So I met a woman. Most people were due in like June or July, and I met one woman that was due in April, April 23rd. So she was super shy, and so it was kind of fun to try to get to talk to her, but I also wasn't feeling well, so I didn't talk as much as I normally do. And then we were actually, my husband and I were actually pretty vocal in the class because the nurse who teaches it, she asks for participation, and she said it'd be a lot better if we got talking. One person took that a little too far and would interject after every single thing or rhetorical question that the nurse asked. And it was like really personal information, like we shouldn't be privy to it at all. So it was kind of weird. But my husband and I have been answering questions. Like, she had this like sweater that she had a like stuffed baby in, and she's like, what does this sweater represent? And she had like the foam, not foam, but like plushy pelvis, and we were all like, that's the uterus. But everybody was super quiet, so nobody like was wanting to participate. So my husband and I answered like a bunch of those questions for the class, and then we started talking about dilation, and not a whole lot of new information was gotten from the class, but one thing that I did learn is that the placenta is sealed to the uterine wall, and inside it's not completely sealed, like hand to hand. It kind of is like a weird little road map, and so in between the roads, which are attached to the uterus, sorry, are just blood, free-flowing blood. So I didn't know that. And so we talked about the placenta a lot, dilation, when to go to the hospital. We did some pain coping techniques at the very end. All in all, it was pretty cool. She said that this week we're going to be talking about doulas, so I'm excited for that because I actually wanted to be a doula a few years ago, and so I did a bunch of like birth research, and I have always been interested in pregnant ladies, and then my fertility issues sort of made me take a step back and made me realize that I really couldn't put myself in that position because I couldn't be a supportive person for somebody else when I had so many issues. So I still know all the jargon and stuff, and it's really fun to talk about, but and who knows, I might end up being a doula. But yeah, so my birth class was like 2.5 hours, or 2 hours, yeah, about 2 hours. She provided us with food and drinks, so we had a bunch of water, and she had like cookies and cakes and stuff, which I didn't eat. I was proud of myself. And then fruit and vegetables, which is pretty cool, and she asked for volunteers to bring food every week, and my husband and I volunteered this week. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it so far, except for the lady who was like giving too much information. Like she talked to us about like, you know, like tomorrow I'm getting my cervix length checked, and we were like, we don't really care. um, and I mean, and it just seemed out of the blue. Like, sure, we were talking about your cervix thinning and dilating, but nobody asked her specifically, and we were in a big group setting with 5 other couples. So it's just, I know too much information about her, and I really hope that she saves her questions for after, because that's what I did. I saved my questions about lactation for afterwards, and I had to wait for that woman to leave. And then I asked her about the nipple everter, which I bought. If you want to check that out, I showed it in my week 34 pregnancy update. And she kind of was like, you could try it, or you could do this method where, you know, the baby gets put on your chest immediately. She said natural childbirth is often the best for women who know they're going to have some sort of difficulty breastfeeding, because the baby's more alert and able to latch quicker usually with an unmedicated birth, which is what I was planning on doing. And so she said that baby gets put on your chest and you're going to have to fight the nurses and tell them nobody touches the baby until the baby latches and nurses. So she said to lay back and have the baby on your chest bare. She called it topless open bar. Lay there, wait for the baby instincts to kick in, and then the baby will start to peck, and so they'll sort of bounce their head on your chest looking for a nipple. And then once they find the nipple, sort of get it in there. And there are different methods. She called it a teacup method, where you pinch the nipple like a teacup and put it in the corner of the baby's mouth, and that should sort of start some reflexes happening in the baby. So she said sometimes the nurses get really aggressive about wiping the baby off, weighing the baby, all that stuff. And if there are no issues, the baby comes out breathing, crying, pinks up really quick, then there shouldn't be any issues with you doing the topless open bar method. And I told her that I really didn't want a nipple shield, and that my friend gave birth up here, and they immediately gave her a nipple shield, and it created issues with getting an actual latch on her breast. And she kind of was a little defensive about that. She was like, well, the nipple shield is not the devil. And I was like, I get that. I understand that the nipple shield is there to help, but I really feel strongly that I want to do it as naturally as possible. So I told her that I bought the nipple everter, and she, didn't really care at all. And I'm going to try using that if I don't get the latch that is comfortable, basically, in the beginning. So that was my birthing class in a nutshell. I have another class on Wednesday. If anything of note happens, I will be sure to update you guys. Congratulations to Lisa Marie TTC, who just gave birth to her baby, Gemma. Beautiful baby girl. Beautiful. And she is in the NICU right now, so make sure to send all your prayers and good vibes and good thoughts towards Lisa and her baby. And a few of my friends actually gave birth early too. One of my friends in Arkansas gave birth at 38 weeks, and yeah, to a baby girl, healthy. So far, so good. I haven't heard anything to contradict that. So yeah. All right. I will talk to you guys later, and hope you guys have a good week. Bye.